And now we'll hear from someone who can really give advice, and someone to whom we all owe a huge debt of gratitude, the president of Hampshire College, Jonathan Lash.
Gay, thank you. Trustees, thank you. Liza, thank you for that wonderful, inspiring reflection to start us off. Speakers, student moderators, faculty, staff, family, friends, graduates, welcome to this 45th commencement. You folks, you're my class. We got here together. Most of what I want to say is how much I love you and how much you've taught me. Before I do that, I just want to thank and congratulate your families. These are remarkable graduates. I know that you're as proud of them as we are. Thank you for all you've done, for all the sacrifices, for all the support, for all the love that's made this moment possible. And to the whole Hampshire family, the inspired and inspiring faculty, the amazing and dedicated staff, the remarkable alumni, the students who make this shared learning enterprise so endlessly exciting, unpredictable, and rewarding. Now, as I said, most of you are 2011 Fs like I am. We arrived about the same time, and we've been through a lot in our 4 years together. I just want to talk about a few of the things. Remember, we started out our first Halloween, there was Snowmageddon. I can still see you shuffling, bleary-eyed, out of Merrill and Dakin, wearing pajamas and flip-flops and looking at 38 inches of snow. The doors locking behind you because without power, the key cards didn't work. No lights, no heat, no food, no communications, one big mess. We got through it, you and I. Right after that, everything was going to be easy. You remember Al Gore's speech in a tent like this? So he gave an inspiring stem winder about the art, the science, and the urgency of change. He called on you to occupy democracy. That still needs doing. Here's the backstory of that speech. We're walking down through 4,000 people seated in the tent, and Al leans over to me and pulls on my sleeve, and he says, "What do you want me to say?" I'd been working with his staff on that speech for 3 months. I knew he had it in his pocket. "Al, Kaylee wrote you a speech." "Yeah, but what do you want me to say?" "Say what's in your heart." So he sat on the stage on the back of his program writing a speech that brought us all to his feet. And it's because he was so moved by all of you whom he had met. A few months ago, some of you persuaded us to invite Patrice Cullors, Alicia Garza, and Opal Tometi, the powerful and wise women who founded Black Lives Matter, as our Iqbal speakers. Luckily, we listened to you. And then, in the best tradition of Hampshire students, you used the platform to demand that Hampshire divest from the prison industrial complex. We were glad to be able to say that our policy of investing Hampshire's funds in companies whose products and practices align with our values means that we have not and we will not hold the shares in the companies that you identified. In 2011, some of you got involved in a crazy project to figure out what to do with an old, used horse barn at 15 Middle Street, the President's House. And now we have the Roost Road House, or rather you do, a modest barn transformed into space of, by, and for students because of your efforts. One message I heard from you from the beginning, I think it's practically the first breakfast I had with a group of students, was we needed to do something to strengthen financial aid. You had an impact. The next year's class, fall 2016, we've increased the percentage of student need that we meet from 86% to 92%, and we hope that's just the beginning. Starting 3 years ago, many of you were involved in a series of campus meetings that shaped the plan for this new building. Rising a few hundred feet from us, the Kern Center will meet the highest environmental standards known as the Living Building Challenge. It will make its own energy. It will treat its own waste. It will gather its own water supply. It has none of a banned list of materials. It will be beautiful space serving the community. And by helping us to shape this, you helped us reshape the campus. Remember what was here where this tent is 2 years ago? A parking lot and a bus stop, right? You took back the center of the campus for people. Last year, we interviewed many of you to better understand what makes a student who thrives at Hampshire. Your answers were remarkable and remarkably consistent. You're independent-minded. You're driven more by questions than answers, more by what you want to know than what you're told to learn. You're creative, you're innovative, you're often irreverent. You're motivated by ideas and curiosity, not by grades or competition. I did say independent-minded, didn't I? What we learned from you helped us to completely rethink our approach to admissions, to choosing the students who will follow you at Hampshire and make its future. We changed our approach to admissions, we changed our approach to financial aid, and that shift, now called the Hampshire Plan, is shaking up assumptions about what is possible in admissions across the country. Good for you. When Hampshire set out 45 years ago to shift the focus from teaching to learning and from information to inquiry, it created essentially an open source education. The content is everywhere, not just in books and classrooms. It's in your experience as you recruit faculty to advise and challenge you. It's in the way you imagine questions and wrestle with the maddening way that the search for answers only deepens the question. It's in all of your experiences in this community and in other communities, and it's in your experience in reshaping Hampshire. A lot of the 70 years alum, many of them sitting behind me, take tremendous pride about the role that they played in creating Hampshire 40 years ago. You should feel the same about the role you've played in reshaping Hampshire for the future. I came here because of students. A group of students who interviewed me absolutely knocked my socks off, and I thought, I have to work with these people. Well, we've struggled, you and I. We've struggled with the issues of race and gender and justice and voice, and we will continue to do so. But you have shown me that my gut reaction about Hampshire students was right. If anybody can change the world, it's going to be you, and I'm proud to be associated with you. Now, you're graduating, I'm not. My committee, the wonderful trustees sitting behind me, haven't actually passed me yet. In fact, to be honest, I haven't even started my Div 3. Somehow, I didn't get to that. But if I did one, it would be about the power of a learning community coming together around a vision. It might be titled, "To Know Is Still Not Enough." And you guys would be the stars. You are stars. I want to finally talk about one other quality of yours that we discovered in the Thrivers interview. You have, to an absolutely unusual and astonishing degree, the capacity for empathy, that precious combination of soul and heart that allows you to put yourself in another's shoes and to feel what they feel. We heard again and again that empathy animates your passion for justice. Yeah, Hampshire students can be ornery and ideological and argumentative and occasionally demagogic. But almost always, it's based in a concern about justice. Empathy is a powerful means, perhaps in the end the only means, to overcome the effects of the unconscious biases we all absorb from our culture and to which we respond without awareness, but no less destructively for all that. Even as our society has moved toward dismantling officially sanctioned racism, sexism, and homophobia, we're still left with a culture that inculcates the prejudice, false expectations, and fear that often play out in violence and injustice. Empathy is an antidote. It is hard to profile someone if you can imagine yourself in their place, feeling what they feel. I admire you, my friends, especially for your capacity for empathy and your passion for justice. You can learn anything. You can invent what you need. You can build what you can imagine. You can change the world. You've rung our bell. Now ring the bells of society. I know you will. Thank you and good luck.